What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you my carries of the week. But before I do that, let me do a quick pocket check. Today I'm carrying my Spyderco Smock. This one here is the Blade HQ exclusive with the coated M4 steel. It does have the Jade G10 handles on it, and I have swapped out finally for an MXG deep carry pocket clip. I have decided to go ahead and move. I know when I first bought it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do anything to kind of mod it, but really I do like the blacked out hardware, and I really do like the fact that it does have that really well performing M4 steel and that excellent Spyderco cutting edge. This one did get upgraded to some skiff bearings, and performance still really good, but instead of stainless steel bearings in there, now it does have those ceramic bearings. Really like this one a lot. That's what's in my pocket today. Before I get into the video, if you do enjoy the content, do me a favor. Leaving a like really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing if you enjoy content about these types of tools, tool reviews, unboxings, and everything in between. I really appreciate all the support, guys. It really means a lot to me. Let's go ahead and jump into what's going to be in my pocket this week. On Monday, I'm going to be carrying the Kubey KU331. This one here does have a coated D2 steel blade. You can see that right there on the tip. It has a very nice deep carry pocket clip that is reversible, and it has G10 handles. This one has the blacked out hardware, which I think looks really good against this denim blue G10. Action is really good. It does give you the option to reverse flick and thumb flick, but you also have the front flipper on there, which is really well done. The only thing that I will say is because it does have a little bit of a wider handle, you do have to kind of reposition yourself to get these out further and kind of pinch them between the palm of the hand and the fingers to hold it in position comfortably. It took me a little while to kind of figure out what spot I needed to have it in, but this spot really does work well, and it does allow for a lot of versatility as far as how you're deploying it. Really like this one a lot. Really nice value. I think this one's around $40 for what you get. Really nice. My only complaints about this one is the fact that I have been carrying it, and the deep carry pocket clip is really thin, and what happens is when you get to right where the pocket clip sits flush on the G10, my jeans stop right there. You really have to push it, and it starts to kind of like bend the pocket out a little bit in order to try to get it in there. So a little thin. Blade centering has remained well, and it's breaking in very nicely. I'm assuming the coating on there was what was causing that detent to feel really stiff, but right now it's feeling really good, and the action is fantastic. So that's what's going to be in my pocket on Monday. On Tuesday, I'm going to be carrying a knife that I just picked up and unboxed here recently on the channel, so be sure to go check that out. That is going to be the Kansept Pretatout. This one here I picked up with the Damascus, but it does have a S35 yen variant, which is a really nice option. But I really like the Damascus because it comes with the anodized pivot collar, and it comes with the Damascus milled titanium pocket clip, which looks really nice. The S35 yen variant does have a titanium pocket clip, but it is not Damascus, it's just coated. This frame lock has excellent action. It is already, I have been fidgeting with it a little bit, but it's pretty much fall shut. I mean, really good action. The thumb studs are in excellent position. Even if you're touching the lock bar a little bit, as long as you're not squeezing terribly hard, it will still deploy, and the fuller works really good on this as well. Really liking this, and this is a very early pick for one of my favorite releases already in 2022. Excellent ergonomics, really nice access to the lock bar. The bearing action is fantastic. There's no blade play on this one at all. Came nice and centered from the factory. Oh, look at that. It has moved a little bit on me, and that's kind of normal when you're breaking a knife. It might move a little bit. So I'm actually going to, because I have another video I'm going to be recording in a little bit for maintenance, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this. In case you're wondering, I do have the Kershaw tool, and it does have the wee bits installed. I find that I like the skinnier longer ones a little bit better. That's the 6. Oops. And that looks like the pivot. I like the longer, skinnier ones because I have the bigger hands, so the short, stubby ones are a little bit awkward for me at times. So let's see here. I'm going to actually look off camera because I'm not trying to. Oh, that must be the T8. That is the T8. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try again. Oh, there's the T10 jumping right out. Knows that I'm looking for it. The magnet on the Kershaw tool is really nice. It also has the gasket on here to keep it from spinning off, which I can't say about the actual long, skinny Weehot tool. So there you go. You can see the T10 fitting. Let's bring it into frame. And just a tiny little twist. I think it's pretty centered. It actually came pretty loose, surprisingly. There we go. That looks, I don't know if the camera's picking that up. That looks pretty centered to me. Let's see. So yeah, so the action, it's, while still smooth, not quite as fall shut as it was, but still really, really good. That is what's going to be on my pocket on Tuesday. This is a really awesome knife from Kansept. Let me move these tools out of the way. I'm going to put them back in the bit real quick. In the tool real quick, because I don't want them falling on the floor here in the garage, because I will lose them forever. On Wednesday, I'm going to be carrying another knife that I picked up here recently that I am really, really enjoying. Very, very nice size, really good execution, and that's going to be the Civivi Altus. This one here has a 3-inch Nitro V blade, has the wood handles, but you can get it with the G10 as well. It has the deep carry pocket clip, but it's still that pocket clip where the duckbill is pointed up a little bit. The one that came on the Kogent was a little tapered down a little bit and was a little bit more comfortable because you didn't have the immediate sharp part sticking up. You could still feel it in hand, but it really wasn't that bad at all. And the button lock on this so far has broken in really nicely. A lot of that lock stick is starting to go away. I doubt you can see it in this lighting, but the coating on the push button is starting to go away, and that's because the blade's blocking it. Let's see if you can see it. You see it there? You can see a little bit of the metal shining back. Once that's completely cleaned, I imagine that all of the lock stick will go away. Has not developed any lock rock. And the centering and the side to side, just focusing on my knuckles, I'm really wrenching on that to get that to move. Centering, even with the wood handles, has remained really, really good. Wants to focus on that Pretatout. Really like this. This is a really good EDC, and I can still recommend it. Now, I will say, even though I'm not carrying it this week, I'm going to be doing a maintenance video in a little bit, because on my Kogent, I have noticed there's a little bit of lock rock. So side to side, it's not really moving, but up and down, see, it has just a little bit of lock rock. So in a little bit, I'm going to be taking this one apart and stretching the spring out. So if you're interested in that, check for the channel. That'll be probably coming up probably about a week after this. The way that I schedule these and the way that I run these, they're way out in advance, just in case something happens and I can't get to a video editing. So what I do is just kind of record in advance. I have footage in advance so I can kind of schedule things and try to do things. Sometimes, like the Altus, I didn't know when it was going to release. It released and that kind of bumps my schedule a little bit. But for like the maintenance and the mod stuff, I usually try to keep that on schedule. All right, so a little bit sidetracked there. I apologize. On Thursday, I'm going to be carrying my Demko AD20.5. This one has the AUS 10A clip point. Still really liking this knife, still liking the edge. I did break down a couple more boxes, and it just cleans right up. And one thing that I've noticed, it's very smooth. The finish is very silky, so it cuts through really, really good. And I'm sure it also helps that it's really thin compared to the AD20, so the 20.5 being really thin. But it goes through the material really good, and it just cleans right on up. I do like someone asked me in one of my comments if I still really liked the fat carbon scales that Carbodize made for this knife, and I must say that I really do. If I had one complaint, I wish it had a little bit more of the purple coming through. It doesn't have enough for my taste, but that's, you know, the luck of the draw with the material, depending on where you're cutting from and how it comes up. It's no fault of his at all. I did pick up the anodized, faded anodized deep carry pocket clip from Lynch Northwest. So it starts out a little bit bronze, which I admit doesn't really match anything at this moment, but then it has the purple fading color that kind of I feel like brings out the color. The Shark Lock has operated really well. I did get the Rocket Glides from Skiff installed, and I really like those a lot. The action is really smooth, but one of the things that I noticed with that is it really locked up any blade play in there, because they're solid and they're not moving around, they're not shifting around any. So up, down, left, right, everything is really solid on this one. So I'll continue to provide updates on that one in particular as time passes on. On Friday, I figured since I'm breaking out one set of fat carbon scales, I might as well break out the dark matter carbon fiber scales that I picked up from Carbodize. And this one here is on the Spyderco Shaman. This one here has the coated S30V blade. I do have the skinny scales, which eliminates that hump right here, which really, to me, seriously improved the ergonomics. I did go ahead and throw on a deep carry pocket clip from MXG, super duper deep, and I did have him delete the lanyard hole. And someone did point out that I also deleted the pocket clip mounts from both sides and the top here. I think that's kind of common for aftermarket scales, which is why I didn't really think it was relevant enough to mention it. But if you notice, like on Flytanium's scales for the Spyderco and for Benchmade, whoever, they kind of do the same thing. You have to indicate if you want left hand tip up or right hand, or it defaults to right hand. Really liking these scales. They feel really awesome in hand. I think they look really good. I love the fact that they kind of change the color and look like they're smoky or moving or have some 3D to them. Awesome, awesome. Lots of red to pop on this one. This one came out with a ton of red, looking really good. And that is what is going to be on my pocket on Friday. Let me know what you're carrying down in the comments below. Always like to know. Are you rotating out knives throughout the week? Do you have one or two in particular that you love carrying that you have in your pocket? Or just tell me what's in your pocket today in the comment. Let me know. Love to hear that type of stuff. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. And until next time, peace.